What's going on, YouTubers? Alright, here's the deal. This is a new unit, Mr. Cool Inverter. A few weeks ago, or it might have been a week ago, I can't remember, a few days, I can't remember, but anyway, I had one of these units I had purchased about a year and a half ago, and I put it in, and it started messing up after about a year and a half. So I did a video on it talking about how the unit's just bad, and it might have been a lemon, I don't know. It's just like cars, you know, you can buy a vehicle and it'll tear up, they'll get the same vehicle again and it may last 300, 400, maybe even half a million miles. It's just sometimes things just go bad. So anyway, I was talking real bad about the unit, but what made me madder than anything was the people I bought it from. I couldn't ever get they had lifetime technical support, and I never could get them to help me on fixing the issue. It took them 8 days the first time to get with me. The second time it took 3 or 4 days. And then I would tell them what was wrong, what all the unit was doing. Then they acted like I didn't know what I was doing. And I've worked on commercial AC for quite a few years. I had my own AC crew that I worked with, and anyway, I kept explaining to them, yeah, I never worked on Mr. Cool, but I do know what I'm doing. And in a little bit, I don't have any way of holding this phone up or anything, because I'm not equipped for all that shit. But I'm gonna take this cover off here in a little while, and I'm gonna kind of take y'all on the journey to show you how to hook one of these up. I already got the line sets and all ran because the old unit was in here. But anyway, make a long story short, I was having a lot of problem with the company I bought it from because I couldn't ever get them to reply, and the technical support never would call me back. Now their customer service, they were the bomb. They were super nice, super polite, but you know, when you're trying to get your unit up and running, because I have elderly people that depend on this unit to keep them warm in the winter time and cool in the summertime. And now when the unit was performing, it was better than any heat pump I've ever had. The thing was just magnificent. And I know what was wrong with it, and I kept telling them I know what's wrong with it, but I guess the company decided, you know what, being the unit with a year and a half old, I'm not sure what they decided and how they come to it, but they just told me they're going to send me a new one. So they sent me out a new unit, so I'm not going to complain about it. And I did say, when I was complaining about them on the other video, I did say, if they ever make it right, I'll get back on here on YouTube and make it right. So they made it right, and it was England's Heating and Air, and so I'm very proud now to know that they do take care of their customers, and you know, hopefully this unit will last longer than the other one. But here's the kicker: the other one probably won't take but $150 to fix, is what I estimate. And I asked them, I said, what do you want me to do with the old unit? They said, you can throw it away. I said, what? They said, yeah, just throw it away. So I got the old unit over here in my garage. I'll take you over and show it to you. My garage is a mess, and I'm sorry for it, but I'm going to have to get here and clean it up when I'm done installing it. That's the old unit. And I'm going to fix this thing because I intend on putting a heat pump. I've been wanting to get a heat pump downstairs because that loud thing you heard right next to me, that's just AC, not a heat pump. We had propane that we heat the house with, but due to Bidenomics, everything was so high, it was costing us a ridiculous price every month. We couldn't even afford it. to heat the house. So that's another reason why I went with a heat pump. And this thing is very energy efficient and does extremely well and when it's running. But we'll see. I'm gonna get it together here shortly. Right now, I'll tell you what I'm doing. These holes that it mounts to are a little smaller than my mounting bolts. I'm gonna drill them out. There's the bolts. I'm gonna drill them out, fit in the holes, make it easier to install. Then my next problem, it's just me out here. I'm gonna have a problem. It'll take me a while to get this thing on the bolts and get it settled down and bolted down. Once I get that done, then I'll pull the cover off. Well, I'll probably hook the line sets up. Once I get that done, I'll hook those line sets up right there. Now, I used NY Log Blue. It's a gel you can put on those fittings and it will help seal them off. Thank God that noisy thing turned off. Sorry about that. It will help seal them off real good. These are flared fittings. They should seal off anyway. I don't have any more of that NY Log. They got some for like $50 for like a little bottle of it down in Memphis, and I'm not running down there to 30 something miles and give them $50 for a little tiny bottle. I'm just not going to do it. So I'm going to try to seal it off without it. It should seal off anyway. So right now, let's go ahead and get the hose drilled out and see if we can get this thing mounted. Once I get it mounted, I'll turn the camera back on. I'll try to edit all this and make it into one video. I'm not an expert at this stuff, on this video making stuff. I just take it and go with it best I can. You know what? I hate to say this, but it's the truth. When you don't have money in today's society, you got to do what you got to do on your own to make things work. And for you, those of you that are struggling like my family because of these Bidenomics crap that Biden and Harris did when they was in administration, everything shot through the roof. It just takes so much money now to get anything done, or somebody come out and work on your stuff. They got to charge a lot of money because it costs them more money for tools, equipment, and gas and everything to even come out to your place. So everything just goes up in the long run. So I'm hoping now that President's elected, and I'm sure he will, he'll get to start getting the prices of everything down, because he's going to drill, baby, drill. And it's like I'm fixing to do here in a minute. But anyway, when I get this thing on there and get it mounted, I'll turn the camera back on and show you my next step. And I really want to get in this thing right here and let you see how neatly wired it is inside. I was blown away with it. It's just professionally, and this thing is really heavy. I think it's 308 pounds. Let's see. Yeah, 308 pounds. What this thing weighs. So it's kind of heavy, but it's just awkward. That's the reason why it's, one man, it's a little hard for one man to get organized and straighten up that. But, it's just me. I mean, I got my girls. They helped me a lot. They helped me get out here last night and get on the slab. My daughters did. But I'm not going to get them up, come out here and help me. I think I can do this. So anyway, let me get this done. Once I get it mounted, I'll turn the camera back on and show you my next step. Okay, YouTube and TikTokers. This is part 2 of the Mr. Cool install. I got the bolts in. I got them bolted down. They're little tankers, but I got them, all 4 of them. Then I removed this cap. I think I'm gonna do the line set next. We can get these things done. Now these line sets, when they come to you pre-charged, because this is a do-it-yourself unit. The unit comes to you pre-charged. The line sets come to you pre-charged, and the air handler comes to you pre-charged. Now, I hope I may have went a little overboard because I put this line sets in this nice cover going out through there. It ain't exactly straight, but it works. It's efficient and it don't look too bad. And but anyway, I'm going to show you some things. you're going to need Allen wrenches for this is a 4 or 2 5-ton unit, and I'll explain that to you later, because you have the option on this unit to go between 4-ton and 5-ton, and I use the 4-ton setting because I don't need the 5-ton upstairs. All I need is the 4-ton. That's plenty for them, and you actually save more money in the 4-ton. The unit runs less, of course. And now to do this line sets, you're going to need a Allen wrench set, a 5mm and an 8mm Allen wrench. And right here are your valves that go into the unit. And what I did, I loosened that. So what I'm gonna do is go take this off, because you don't want to take that top one off yet until you check these, make sure they're off inside there, because you could lose Freon, or you could probably even get yourself hurt because they have pressure on them. So we're going to just make sure they're off and tight, and they are. That one's off and tight. So now we're going to go to the next one, check it. Let's see if we can get around here. Don't want nobody to get hurt. Always try to use a little safety. Sometimes I get in a hurry and I avoid that, and it's bit me in the butt a couple times. All right, now I'm going to tighten these up. They're tight, both of them. So now you're safe to take these two top caps off. That's what we're going to do next. You can use a crescent wrench, it's fine. And there's your flare. And now you just set these aside. Actually, probably need to put these back on, these caps. I don't need to do that right now, because I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to need doing that twice. Alright, so now I'm going to take this other one off on this other side. It looks like I'm going to have to have a bigger crescent wrench. This is a 10. Looks like I'm going to have a bigger one. So let me go and get a bigger crescent wrench. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And put this over here. I made some soap water up so we can check for leaks. Over there. I don't even see it. What's going on there? Everything's white out, I guess. I made this soap water up so we can check for leaks here in a little bit. Alright, so I went and got me a 12-inch wrench, a crescent for this one. And we'll go ahead and get it on there and get it loose. Okay, now I want to see these caps, these things here, and what it is, these you can't really see. Let me see if I can flip my phone around underneath. I'm going to show you something. These work like a plunger. Can you see them under there? I hope you see that. But it's set up like a little plunger, and what happens is this little plunger. Well, you can see it on this side. These connectors, these come with your line sets. And you see down in there, that's like a little plunger. And or it's more like a push valve. You can push it. And what happens is it meets with that one up inside the line set. And when it meets with those inside the line set, they push together, and it causes the line sets to open up together. That's really how come they can sell these things pre-charged. Now, let me explain something to you here that you need to pay attention to. When you take these off, if you ever have to take them back off, be extremely careful, because these things will come apart. They do separate. And I wasn't paying attention, and this thing had pressure on it, because it will have pressure in here. And when I was taking off, I was actually separating it and didn't know it, and it blew the top part of that thing straight up in the air, probably 20 foot, right by my head. Probably would have killed me. And some of you probably saying, well, that probably been good because you're a Trump supporter anyway. But you know what? I could say a few things, but I'm not. That's not who I am. So we're going to put these on right now. And we're going to kind of snug them down. So you got two ways of doing it. You can snug them down here at the bottom and snug them at the top. So we're going to snug it down. And then we're going to put this other one on over here. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, now this little tool here I bought off TikTok and I really like it. It's called an endoscope, and it was like 28 bucks. Well worth its money, but it's got a good picture. That's it, aiming down the ground there. And what I'm going to do with it now is I want to look up in the bottom of these valves, make sure there's no trash in there. It needs to be cleaned out because I can't really see it without bending the valve or laying down on this wet ground. I ain't doing that. So let's take a look and see what we got. I'll try to let you look. Let me put this down. There's your little plunger right there. And see that little bit of trash up in there? I don't like that. And there, see how your plunger's down in there? So I probably need to get that cleaned out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take an air hose and blow it out real good so we can get all the trash out of it. And I'm probably going to look at the other one and see what it looks like too, because it probably looks the same way. If I can find it sticking out wherever it's sticking out at. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it looks like it may have a little trash in it. So we're going to take our air hose and blow that stuff out of there and look at it one more time. You don't want no trash in there, I can promise you that. And another thing, you don't want no water in there. It's been raining like crazy. That's the reason why I put my wife's pink canopy up over this thing. She had a fit because I was using it, but she understands. She don't want me getting wet, bless her heart. I love her to death. But anyway, let me get the air hose right here. We're going to blow those things out. Okay, I'm back. We're going to take the air hose, blow these things out. Now let's look in and see what we got. Lot better, lot better. I'll put the other one over here. Yep. It's good to me. So, yeah, this whole thing's been a real handy tool for me. If you drop a bolt or something, it's easy to find. You know, if you see where it's located, you have things, special tools go through. Now all I'm going to do now is hook these up to here. Then I'm going to open these valves. Now I'm going to spray it down with soap. So I'm going to, and when you hook these up, once you get them on here, all you want to do is you're going to hook them, screw them in with your hand first, as tight as you can get them with your hand, before you put the crescent wrench on them. And so we're going. It's going to take me both hands to get them lined up, screw them on, and then I'll put the crescent wrench on them and tighten them down. Okay. So I will stay tuned. I'll get with you in a minute. Okay, this is part 3. I've snugged these things down now with the crusher mixers. Now what we want to do is take your soap and water mix up and just go around it real good, right all the way around it. Then we want to open these valves up. They're open. Now we want to make sure we ain't got no leaks. They're not bubbling up nowhere. I don't see no bubbles. So we're gonna put these caps on real quick so we don't get, I don't no need getting soap up in there. Alright, I'm going to spray everything down real good again. One more good look. You'll know when it's bubbling because it'll have big bubbles coming out. That ain't nothing. That's just the soap itself. But when it starts leaking, you'll see big bubbles coming out all around in here, all up here. You might even want to check right in here. See where it connects up at. I'll tell you if you get any leaks. And we'll take your little scope again, and we'll get right off behind there where we can see behind it. Make sure those little bubbles there are just a soap. It's not leaking. If it was leaking, you would know it. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let me check around on this other side real quick. If these things are ever leaking, you want to cut your valve back off with your Allen wrenches. Cut your valves back off and tighten them up some more. Tighten the flares up some more and open your valves back up and try it all again. Just keep repeating the process. Now, I may have told you earlier, there is a gel sealant that helps out a lot. I didn't buy it this time. I did when I first installed the unit. I didn't buy it this time because it's kind of expensive, and I just didn't want to spend the money on it. Not being a tightwad, it's just, you know, when money's tight, you gotta do what you gotta do to save all you can save. So I'm gonna kind of blow that off. Let's see what we got. I think we're good. Now we're going to put these back on. Put back around it. Put back around it. And I'm going to put this cover back on. I don't need to get back. I don't need to get back in here no more. Because the next thing we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and run the power to it and hook up the thermostat wires. And I'll show you how that's done. And then when I got to drill a hole through this one because I have a plug, a rubber grommet I put in here. This can go through, and then I put I'll show you what I do. I put some black sealant around it to keep water from getting inside this unit. Yeah, we're gonna do that now. Put this cover back on, and then I'll go ahead and take this cover off, and when I get this cover off, I'll let you look inside, show you how everything's nice and neat inside of this thing. I'm just a little leery about this. Let me check this one more time, see what we got here. I mean, it's spraying off with yeah, I think we're all right. Looks fine to me. So anyway, we're going to, like I said, now we're going to drill a hole in this for the grommet, and then we're going to hook all our wires up in here. Okay, so let me get the cover on, get this cover off, let you see inside, then we'll go from there. All right, I'm back. Now we got the cover on. I had to go get some tools too. We'll show you inside this thing. This is the main board, and this is what went wrong with the old one, and I know it is because I ran a lot of tests and it was showing bad. But I'd get that board for like 48 bucks off the internet. Same board. But anyway, the other things went bad on the other one with these coils right here. These are coils. That's a reversing valve. These coils here help work that reversing valve. So we got those lines hooked up. I just wanted you to look in here and see how nice and neat everything's nicely tucked away and tied off, zip ties, and they got nice covers on everything, insulations. This thing is so energy efficient and does such a good job at heating and cooling when it's doing what it's supposed to do. Of course, when it goes bad, I mean, it's bad. And these right here, these little switches right up in here, if you'll notice, they go 1, 2, 3, 4 switches, and they look like they're all in the down. You can go from 4 to 5 on these things, and we're going to look at them real quick. Right over here is where you look at how you set them. If you want the 5-ton unit, you have the switches right here. And if you want the 4-ton unit, they go like this. Now, I would have done this different. I would have made something a little bit more understanding. Maybe put some arrows here, because you see a 1, 2. Is that where the switch is supposed to be down on, or that's supposed to be up in the black? You see what I'm saying? That's what I don't understand. I'm gonna say they're probably supposed to be in the black. I'll tell you how I can figure out. I took a picture of the old one, so I'm gonna go look at it and see how I had them set, because this has to match your air handler. These switches here have to match your air handler, and I had it set on 4, so I'm gonna make sure it's back on 4. And just give me a second and I'll look at the picture. Okay, this is where they should be, according to my picture of the old one. These are actually in the up position. You can't see them because they're dark, but they're actually in the up position, or I guess they would call down, because this whole thing looks like it's upside down. Oh, maybe it's not. I don't know. But anyway, it's set like the other one was set. So if that's the case, that means the black is actually where these things want to go. They're saying put the 1 up down here, down on the opposite of on, and then the 2 will go up here. That's what they're saying. 3 and 4 down here. Well, for the 4-ton, that's where I got it set. 1, 3, and 4 should be in the up position. And I use a little screwdriver. Phillips head, just reach in and get it. That is, that's up, that's up, that's up, and the 2's down. So yeah, we got it set on 4-ton now. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up my wiring. I'll show you how that goes. Your thermostat wiring is going to come in right here and wire it up. But first we need to drill a hole back here into this thing, because I have a grommet I want to put in there, and I've got some sealant I'm going to put in there with the grommet after we put everything together. And I love this stuff. This is Flex Shot. The guy that come up with this is a freaking genius as far as I'm concerned. You know, I won't be surprised if some engineer don't screw it up for long. Isn't it funny how engineers get involved most of the time and they just screw things up? I know we have to have them, but they always want to make a name for themselves, and what they do is they wind up screwing stuff up that actually works. So when you get something that works, leave it alone. Just sit back and collect money. Leave it alone. When you start getting a bunch of engineers involved in it, they screw everything up. I know that because I worked for a chemical company for years making pharmaceuticals, and there was one engineer. They had hired several engineers. They'd hire them right out of school. They would come in and try to change stuff up, mess it all up. We wind up, the operators that operated all the equipment would wind up having to redo everything to get it back to where it would work. And they'd say, well, you're not going by what the SOPs say, standard operating procedure. And I'd say, well, the equipment won't handle what you put down. Why won't it? And I said, because they just won't do it. And they would try it, and screw it up every time. Well, one engineer we had that I really did enjoy, couldn't get along with him. He was a pain in the butt, and everybody hated him. But I liked him, had a lot of respect for him, because every time he would do something, he would always try to do it right the first time, so he wouldn't have to go back and do it again. And he would take in consideration what everybody was saying on certain things, and then he would adjust accordingly to what we need to make the equipment work good for us. And if we have equipment working like we need it to work and doing what we need it to do, now this is the grommet right here. I'm gonna get these drill bits, and yeah, he would adjust equipment and build it like we need it to work for us. And when we had it made it easy working for us, the product would always turn out very, very well. So engineers, if you're listening, Listen to the people around that works with that equipment every day. I promise you, they'll make you a better engineer. Just because you come out of school with a degree, don't mean you know everything. I can promise you that. So now what I'm gonna do is well, I didn't bring my pliers out here. This chuck thing here is messed up. The head on this. I had to put pliers around it to get it loose all the time. That's a DeWalt for you. I'm sorry, I'm not a big DeWalt fan. I own a lot of DeWalt tools, but I'm not a big fan of them. My preference would be Milwaukee. And the reason why I say that is because when I worked in maintenance and had my own maintenance crew, my EC maintenance crew, we would go through DeWalt's. We probably wouldn't get about a year out of them at the most. The batteries just wouldn't hold up. Now, we had Milwaukee's, we had them 3, 4, 5, 6 years sometimes before we had to do any work on them or replace them, especially the grinders. We use in Arkansas Department of Corrections, they use grinders every day, and a drill every day. And a day don't go by you don't use those two tools. And I'm telling you, a Milwaukee tool will hold up better than the DeWalt. Now, I love the DeWalt chop saw. I got one of those too. It's right there covered up and stuff. I love that thing. That thing's just the bomb. It helped me build that real nice deck I built, which I'll show you real quick. I'll get back on the AC. I built that for my in-laws because they live up in a bonus room. They used to come outside all the time. Well, they done got old, and so I built them a not super nice deck. Me and my girls, they helped me. And that thing is heavy duty. It ain't going nowhere. And they love going out now and sitting out there a lot. So anyway, we're gonna get back on this AC and see if we can get all this stuff done. I'm gonna drill those holes, get that little grommet put in like it's supposed to be. And I'll show you what it's gonna look like when I'm done. Alright. Okay, I went ahead and hooked up the thermostat. Now before I start messing with the power for me in this thing, I'm going to make sure to double check. It never hurts. Double, triple check yourself. Make sure there's no power going to nothing. And we're going to go in here. Breakers off. Breakers off. And then we're going to go out here. Open this up. Pull that out. Put your connector. Without that, there ain't no way any power can be going to this thing. Now, don't mean you ain't got power in here, because these capacitors still holds power and it will shock you. However, this thing's been in transit. I'm sure there's probably no power at all coming through it. We'll triple check it again, like I said. We'll check it with my multimeter. This is the multimeter I bought off of TikTok too. I really enjoy it because it's fully automatic. You don't have to do no switching. It automatically detects power and it automatically tells you the voltage. See, it says auto. Turn it on. And we're going to check the power here. I can find where it starts at. taped it up to keep water from getting all in it. Let me go get a razor knife so I can cut that stuff off there. I'm gonna go ahead and check these. We'll go ahead and check these right here. Make sure there's no power coming down from the capacitors or anything. That's possible. Trust me, it is. I had one of my brothers, my youngest brother. He just got a little power coming from it. I think it just discharged it. Anyway, my youngest brother got electrocuted about 110. You don't think 110 won't kill you? You better think again, because I'm here to tell you, it'll drop you dead. If there's any moisture at all, you ground it real good, yeah, it'll kill you. He was working on a truck, which there's a story behind the truck. He was working on the truck, and got those wires out. Let me test those real quick. Nothing on those, so we're good. All right. Cut my motor meter off. Alright, he was working on a truck one morning. He set his drop light down, and then he went and get some wire strippers. Anyway, he set his drop light down, working on his truck. He went inside to use the restroom, and when he came back out, he picked it up, dropped him dead. He I learned right then, always use caution. Even if you're unplugging a extension cord from outside, before you roll it up, make sure it's unplugged before you even touch it. He was a good guy. He just, his kids was out in the yard. They seen it happen. They were real young. I'm sure they don't. 110 will kill you. Don't anybody tell you different. Now, if you go in the house, as long as you're in water or something standing in water, and you touch inside of a light socket, most people that's worked on anything have been shocked. Usually I'll wear rubber latex gloves when I'm doing this too, but I done checked everything, so I'm good. You're wondering why I don't put ends on these things? One, I don't have any. Two, is I like just the wire going there because as long as I get a good fix on it, tight on it, because I've seen those end things burn out before. They get hot, especially if they're made out of aluminum. That's what most of them are made out of now, aluminum. Copper ones are probably okay. Why does the actual thing don't want to come out of there? I'll get it here in a minute. Bear with me. Before I start messing with them other two, Still put on a pair of latex gloves. These are 9 mils latex gloves, pretty thick, $14 a box from Harbor Freight. Well worth the money. My guys use them on the AC crew, and believe it or not, they've saved them from being shocked a few times. Just an extra precaution. Sorry it's taking so long. I'll try to figure out how to do the camera crap and speed it up. Most time I could probably figure it out, but most time I can't see just taking my time. I'm impatient a lot of times. I'm sorry, but I am. Editing videos to me is boring. And it's time consuming. That's something I don't like doing, is wasting time. One more to go. They're all pretty secure. I'm doing those couple more zip ties. Now, I guess all I need to do now is open the valves on the air handler, then come back down here and cut the breakers on, see if this thing works. Okay, so let's go up in the attic. And I'll show you what the air handler looks like and how I've done it. Grab my flashlight just in case I need it. Oh, well, you'll do no good if I ain't got those Allen wrenches to open up the crescent wrenches. Hold on a minute. I need those. That's all I need for that, I think. 10-inch. Well, we'll take a 12 and use it. Alright. There's a mess in here too. We're putting up Christmas. But we're getting there. She's still got to decorate the tree today. My wife. Let's go get this over with.
What you are doing, it isn't working. In states where, criminals aren't charged when they steal $800 worth of stuff serially, it's the same business time after time.
Sorry. Dust. Anyway, this is the air handler I put in. Now I love this air handler. And when I put this thing in, I had to rebuild up there that box. And I built this intake box down here completely. It's built real strong. I used 2 by 2 by quarter, or quarter 2 by 2 angle iron. Made the box. Then I used 3/4 inch plywood, put around it. Then cut the hose for all the duct work. Got me out of breath coming up here. Getting too old, I guess. Anyway, I also put this float switch in for safety reasons. So if it's going to cut this whole unit off, it'll shut the whole unit down if this thing starts backing up with water. Usually it accumulates in here. I put that clean out trap in so I can keep it clean. This one over here is the next one I'm going to replace. I'm going to do the same thing with it that I did over here, and I'm going to install another one back there for the bedroom. Well, actually, it'll go right here, right beside it, for our bedroom. All right, let's get this all opened up so I can open these up. My in-laws, bless their heart, they've been real good because it's been so hot up here for them during the day, and they've been getting freezing cold at night, which I can keep them warm. We got space heaters, but cool them down is a different story. I wonder if it's going to stop or not. I get out of the way. Alright, let's get this caps back on. Put these bad boys down. We'll go downstairs and start the unit up. Hopefully all is well.
You think I'm just getting jealous and yes, never seen.
Oh, yes. There's only one more thing.
And what's that? You name it, you shall have it.
Oh, crap. I dropped something. I left it up there once. The other Allen wrench. I got where I can't remember nothing. Yeah, there it is over there. I probably got tools all over this house and don't even know it. Anyhow, you're getting the raw cut version of everything.
Okay. And we shall.
Light out.
Speak to life of fantasy. The dream began to live.
What's up?
Doing
Oh man.
right.
Alright, let's go ahead. I'm not gonna go ahead. I'll pick up all my tools in a little while. And if I don't, I'll have to buy more. Hopefully not. It's always best plug this in first before you go flip them, and then flip your breakers last. Safer. Alright, let's get it back in here. You'll see where it goes up in there. Usually it has on and off on these, but this one peeled off. Alright. Let's cut her on, see if we get any power on the board. Now if you're wondering about the thermostat, I have this thing Wi-Fi to my phone. That's the best way to do it, so you can control everything from out here. Well, the breakers came on okay, so let's see what we got. Yep, we have power. All that seems to be fine. So let me get off here and see if this thing's gonna run, because I can only get on here at Wi-Fi without being on here at the same time. I'll get back with you. Okay, all right, back at it. The unit's running. Now, you see these fans, they're not running very fast, and that's because this thing is an inverter, and what it does, it speeds and slows as needed. It don't run wide open like that old unit does over there. It'll run wide open. This one will adjust its fans and the compressor as needed to get it to cool down. That way it saves money and don't run wide open all the time. Everything seems to be working fine. These lines here are ice cold as they should be, and a little line coming in is pretty warm as should be, and the air coming out right here is pretty hot as should be, because it's hot upstairs and it's taking that air, it's taking that Freon, cooling it back down and sending it back up. So seems to be working fine. My in-laws up there said that they feel a difference. It's cooling on down. This thing is really quiet. That's one thing I can say about it. Like I said, when this thing's running like it should, it's absolutely probably one of the best heat pumps I've ever seen. But when it's not running, it can be a royal pain in the you know what. And we just want to make sure it stays running. So I told them tonight I'll check it. Hopefully tonight it's cooled down some outside, and I got it in full auto, so we should stay between a range of 69 to 72 up there. If it drops below 69 tonight, it'll come on. The heat pump should come on and heat it back up. We'll see. This thing is second time. Like I said, the old one's in there. I know what's wrong with the old one. I'm going to repair it, and I'm going to use it over there and replace that old unit there. That old unit there will actually freeze you out of the house, but I have no heat because I don't have propane anymore. Like I said, propane got so high we couldn't afford it. You know, it was costing us $3,000 a month just in propane because it was a 500-gallon tank and propane sky high at the time when we were filling it. Now, Trump's back in office, it's probably going to start dropping now, but I really just go with these heat pumps. If they'll maintain and continue on working, I'll be okay with that. That way the electricity bill will drop real lower, and it will also allow very good heating, because these things, that's one thing they had a great reviews on. People was talking about them, 25 and 30 degree below zero in areas, and they still kept their house nice and toasty without any merchant heat. I haven't used any merchant heat, so I don't even have merchant heat in my air handler. Don't need it because it never gets below most I've seen it get here is about 5 below. I think it was last year, it got 5 below here, stayed there a few days. Well, I know it did because I had a few busted water lines, which made a mess in my house. I had to do some repair on those. And I'm no drywall person. That's one thing. I can do just about anything in a house, plumbing, electrical, everything except drywall and paint. I hate to paint. It's the most boringest job that ever was, and I hate it with a passion. And the wife wants me to paint our bedroom, so I'm going to be doing it for her, but trust me, it's not going to be, I'm not going to enjoy it. But anyway, that's coming up in the future. And right now, if this thing will stay running, I'll be happy. So right now I'm going to put this cover back on and just let her do her thing. I did notice that the top of the compressor here is extremely hot, and I checked it and they said it's supposed to be hot because this thing on these compressors do get very hot on top, and I guess all the heat it's got upstairs, yeah, it probably is going to be hot. Seemed like to me, if it was me and I was designer of this, an engineer would have put a cooling fan on this, so when it got to a certain degree, it would at least cool it down. It has a heated coil around it, so wintertime it will heat up, and keep it defrost. But it needs to be actually needs to be a fan in here. Kind of pull the heat out, which I could probably put an electric fan in here, just one in the thing here, and let it pull the heat out when it got to a certain temperature. It wouldn't be that hard to do, and that would at least keep it, you know, keep the hot air from building up in here. Because once I put this cover on, it has nowhere to go but to up and into all the electronics and stuff, and that may not be a good thing. That may be a reason why these coils went bad on my other one, was because of that reason. That coil, see that coil right there, that YV2, and then you got one up there, it's a YV1. On the old unit, they went bad, and like I said, the main board went bad, which I call the motherboard. It went bad also, but I'm going to replace that and those on the old unit. And when I get ready to hook that one up, I'm going to pull another slab over there and run some line sets, and I'm going to hook it up over there and put another air handler up in the attic. Actually, I'm going to put 2 more air handlers up in the attic. And I'm going to, over here, I'm going to put I already got a power box ran for the another unit over here. I'm going to put a unit over here for the our bedroom, so we can have heat and air in our bedroom, master bedroom, separate from the rest of the house. And that way we're not cooling and heating the whole house to adjust our bedroom. Plus our bedroom is the furthest away from the air handlers, so it either stays, in the summertime it stays warmer in there, in the wintertime it stays cooler in there. This cooling is really not a big problem. I mean, heat's not a big problem, because I always use a space heater if I need to. Prefer not to, but if I have to, I will. You know, all That line there is extremely hot. That line there is ice cold. That's ice cold. So, yeah, we're going to see what happens. And I'll throw this on YouTube quick as I can, so you can at least look at these things. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I don't mind. It's fine, but we'll, God bless you all. Thank you for watching. May y'all have a wonderful day and a wonderful year, and a wonderful next 4 years. And if you're not a Trump supporter, I still hope you have a wonderful next 4 years. As long as you don't harass them. So you guys take care of yourselves, and I will catch you on the rebound.